Okay, number one is learn to play the melody and chord progression before you start soloing. This is the easiest part, and yet so many developing jazz musicians don't bother to do it. Learn the melody and practice it, and then learn the chord changes, all of them. But you might say, I forget the chord changes. Well, of course you do. That's because you didn't learn them properly. If you're a saxophone player, make sure you can arpeggiate your way through the chords without any backing track before you allow yourself to put that thing on an internal loop. This is a list of things I wish I knew when I started learning jazz. I've spent a few decades on this so far, and I could have saved a lot of time and frustration had I known the stuff I'm about to share with you. So I hope this helps. On the 11th and 12th of May, I'm coming to Manchester, England for a BetterSax Level Up weekend where I'll be teaching these concepts and a whole lot more in depth. More on that later. Number two, licks are good. There is this myth out there that you shouldn't learn any licks or lines that have already been played by somebody else. Please forget that concept if you want to learn to improvise. Jazz is an established language, and you can't reinvent it from scratch any more than you could reinvent English or French. Learn the existing language if you want to communicate in it. Only those who have achieved an extraordinary level of mastery will be able to influence how that language evolves over time. Number three, stop playing so many notes. You don't have to play so many notes all the time. When I was in college, we listened to John Coltrane and Michael Brecker and Kenny Garrett, and everybody we loved to listen to played a lot of notes. Sometimes they also played really melodically and left space, and sometimes they played very few notes. Playing tons of notes is hard, and we can easily fall into the trap of devoting all of our practice time to doing this. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But it's also okay to play fewer notes, and you should devote a healthy portion of your practice time to learning how to play melodically and leaving space. Number four, rhythm is more important than note choices. I remember being so caught up in which notes to play over which chords that I didn't give a ton of thought to the rhythms. And in reality, rhythm needs to come first on the list of our priorities. No notes sound good if they're out of time, but wrong notes can sound awesome if they're played with solid rhythm. Number five, learn from recordings, not the real book. I look at those real books as a hindrance rather than a helpful tool. Anyone who is capable of reading a tune out of there and improvising with the chord changes in front of them is just as capable of learning that tune, melody, and chords from a recording using their ears. The difference is that the person who uses their ear will be learning the language and building repertoire, while the person who uses the real book is just going to be reading. Don't waste your time. This music requires us to use our ears, and the earlier you start doing that, the better. Number six, copy what you like. In my college days, I was heavily influenced by my fellow students and what they were listening to and wanted to play. Don't let that peer pressure determine how and what you play. Yeah, you should learn the standard repertoire, but if you gravitate towards the way Louis Armstrong plays and want to sound more like that, do it. Just because everyone else is trying to sound like Chris Potter doesn't mean you have to as well. Number seven is don't try to impress everyone else. If you can play something you love to hear, you will sound good. Aim to play things you love to hear. When we get up on stage and it's our turn to play, we can fall into this trap of trying to impress others that are there. Maybe it's the other members of the band. Maybe there's other musicians in the room. Maybe we're just trying to impress the audience sitting there. Stop trying to impress people. Just try to play stuff that sounds good to you. It might be more melodic. It might have fewer patterns, and it might be simple and unimpressive. But if you like the way it sounds, then chances are the audience is also going to like the way it sounds, and everybody wins. Number eight, the process is more important than the results. This is one of those things that you can only truly understand after you've spent a significant amount of time in any process, whether that is learning music or whatever. Still, if you're starting out, trust the old folks who tell you this. What it means is that ideally you want to focus your energy on doing the work, the practicing, the listening, the performing. Evaluate yourself on how consistently you show up rather than the day-to-day results. So ask yourself, did I practice today? Did I learn something new? Did I challenge myself? These are things we can control. Don't ask, did I sound good? Did I attain the level I'm aiming for today? How long will it take before I'm any good? Number 9 is don't be in a rush. The time goes by pretty fast. If you think long term, you can get so much better in 10 years if you are consistent. I was always in a rush to improve. I always felt I wasn't good enough and that I better get as many hours of practice in as fast as possible to catch up to where I should be. Don't be in a rush. There is no way to rush your way to being a good player. Putting that pressure on myself actually slowed my progress because of the anxiety that goes along with it. Once I stopped judging myself harshly and comparing myself to others, I began progressing much faster and I enjoyed the process so much more. I've been at this for 30 years now. I wish I could go back and tell my 18-year-old self, starting out, you have the rest of your life to work on this project. If you are consistent and practice a bit every day, you will progress more than you ever thought possible. Take your time and enjoy the process. Whatever level you are at currently is exactly where you're supposed to be. Now, if you're still here, you're clearly interested in getting better at playing the saxophone and improvising jazz. No matter where you are in the world, you can study with me on a regular basis in the BetterSax studio. It's a program where each month I give members a new tune to work on and learn, melody and chords, and a bunch of exercises and etudes to practice. Then our members record themselves playing and share that to our private group, and I leave personalized video feedback. Everyone in the group benefits from this process, and the results we have seen over the years are just fantastic. I put a link in the description if you want more info on the BetterSax studio and to see if there is any space available for you. Now, as I mentioned earlier, occasionally I run clinics like the one coming up in Manchester, England on the 11th and 12th of May. As of right now, we still have a few spots available. So if you're in the area and would like to work with me personally for an amazing weekend of saxophone fun, check the link in the description to sign up. The BetterSax Level Up Weekend is made possible by AB Workshops and the Saxophone Orchestra of Manchester, who are organizing the whole event. And we have sponsorship from some of the best brands in the saxophone world, including Jody Jazz and Selmer Paris, who need no introduction, JJ Babbitt, the makers of the legendary Autolink and Meyer mouthpieces, our friends at Marca, who make the finest cane reeds from the south of France, Emio, the makers of the digital hybrid practice saxophone, Odyssey Music, who makes the incredible Travel Sax 2, Studio Bricks, who make these amazing sound isolating practice booths for your home, Groovy Rascal, who's going to be providing some of the arrangements we'll be playing on the weekend, and sax.co.uk, who is the UK dealer for all BetterSax products, as well as TomPlay, who have the most amazing app for learning songs and practicing them. I've made videos about products from just about all of these companies, and I linked to them below in the description. Be sure to check those out. I hope to see you in Manchester or in the BetterSax studio. Thanks for watching.